Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Sekiro Shadows Die Twice complete walkthrough. And this is episode 8, which I have named the Sunken Valley, because that is the next stop on our journey towards unlocking all of the endings in this game. And before you leave Ashina Castle, if you for some reason didn't pick up the gun for Shrine Key or whatever it's called that's next to Kuro in the library, make sure to do so before we head to the Sunken Valley, because that is absolutely vital to be able to progress the story. And the reason for me reminding you about it is I've told you that I did a practice run of this game just before I started recording. And I actually managed, I don't know how it happened, but I managed to miss it. So I got to the point in the story where you need the key, and thankfully there is a sculptor's idol just next to it. But it felt a bit awkward having to fast travel back, like, yep, missed this thing. And when you get down here, this place is jam-packed with monkeys, and I suggest just ignore them and run past them. They are not our main priority. Our goal is to get to the Sunken Valley, and we're gonna get through most of it. At least in or we are gonna get through all of it, but we are gonna get through most of it in this episode. And here we run into our good old friend Ishin. If you have mastered a skill tree or unlocked the final skill in any skill tree and you talk to him now, he will give you another skill tree text. But I haven't, so I didn't get it. And if you have followed this walkthrough and you have done the upgrades I have done or unlocked the skills that I have done in the order I did it, you won't either. But we will do it before this game is over, because you do get a chance later on in the game to get it as well. And this is the first sculptor's idol in the Sunken Valley, and as soon as you activate that and rest by it, make sure to do a 180 turn, because we are gonna go to this warrior clan's burial grounds and pick up a prayer bead. And all the enemies in this initial area have rifles. There are those normal rifle enemies, and there are also a bigger enemy, or yeah, bigger enemy that has shotguns. And the normal rifle enemies are quite easy to take down. Just go on the offensive, get up in their face, and try not to get clocked by their bullets. The shotgun guys, or shotgun women actually, I think they're an all-female warrior clan, are a bit trickier to take down. But you see, normal rifle enemy, he, she, it tries to block my swings, but didn't manage very well. And this is a place you should remember, because in this little pool of water, if you go back, once you get the Mibu breathing technique that you get from a boss later on in the game, if you swim down underneath the water there, you can get to one of the headless. But that is something also that I will show you in towards the end of this walkthrough, because I recorded killing. There are two types of headless, and I killed one of each type, and I showed you, or I recorded where the rest of them are. They are not required to kill for the platinum. I don't think they're worth killing. I think I mentioned that before, because they are quite a tall order to take on, and the reward for taking them down feels kind of minimal. But either way, let's focus on the Sunken Valley. You see there is a rifle guy there. What you can do is to try to run back and forth, wait for him to fire, and then you immediately grapple over. Because as you can see, their bullets hurt when they hit. And then we go over here, we kill this guy, and we're gonna head upwards. Because we are gonna pick up another gourd seed. I think that's gourd seed number 8 actually, so there are only 2 left after this one. But we continue upwards, grapple across here, take out him, or her. As I said, I think they are all females, so let's refer to them as women from now on. Here is the gourd seed, and there is also some yellow gunpowder up here that you can use to upgrade your different prosthetic tools. I can't remember exactly which materials do which things, but either way, it is an upgrade material. And this warrior clan is led by 2 soldiers called Snake Eyes Shirafuji and Snake Eyes Shirahagi. And both of those bosses are really dangerous if you try to take them on fairly. Luckily for us, we are not gonna take them on fairly. We're actually gonna cheese both of them. I will only, in this episode, I will only show you the fight against Snake Eyes Shirafuji. And also something, in the very first episode of this guide, I told you about rifle enemies, that you should always prioritize them because they are super snipers. In this, what you call it, level area, this is where you're gonna find out exactly what I mean. See those cliffs on the other side of this giant gorge? Before we start traversing that gorge, after we kill, that is a shotgun enemy. You see their rifle is a bit bigger and it hurts. You do not want to take one of those shots at point blank range, because that will do a significant amount of damage to your health bar. But now we're just gonna take out the last one, just waiting for her to fire, and of course she clocks me straight in the face. But before we go over this gorge, make sure to pop a gachin sugar, because that will make the riflemen or riflewomen on the other side not see you going over here. Because as I said, they are super snipers. They will see you the very second you jump off this edge. And I have been clocked mid-air, jumping from one platform here to the other. One of them actually clocked me mid-jump. So you don't want to test your luck. But if you did all the grinding of the gremlins, you should have a substantial amount of gachin sugar. And once you get over here, just be quick. One of them will notice you because she is much closer. And up here we have Snake Eyes Shirafuji. So what you want to do now is just run past her and get up here. Make sure to equip the umbrella and put it up or activate it, and we are gonna crouch over here. All those enemies over there are gonna start noticing you, and I was just waiting for Snake Eyes life bar to disappear, which means that she has de-aggroed. So we start heading back. Don't worry about taking damage. The umbrella will soak up every bullet they fire at it. And make sure before you take on Snake Eyes, she is still a bit anxious, so we're gonna wait for that yellow arrow to disappear off her head to make sure that she's relaxed. And make sure you equip the Whirlwind Slash combat art. That is very important. And have the umbrella ready as well. Because the first thing we want to do is, as always with mini bosses, whenever you get the chance, we always go down and we try to get a free death blow on her. We should get there. And now we're gonna do a variation of the bait and punish. Run up here, wait for her to follow you, go down here, do the whirlwind slash, immediately take off running. You saw there, I took 2 hits. She took more than half my health bar. And then you just go up here again. Wait for it to fall off. Whirlwind slash. Do not do anything fancy whenever you get up here. Good tip, crouch. Because sometimes she will stand down there and shoot. And if you get unlucky, she'll hit you. So make sure to crouch while you're waiting for her to get back up. And never lock aim on her. And you saw there, she hit me with 1 shot. It took half my health bar. And I have sped this up because this technique is not honorable. It's not fun. It's boring as hell, actually. But it is a lot safer than trying to take her on fairly, because as you could see, she hits like a truck. And as soon as you have done the whirlwind slash, make sure to press circle or B if you're playing this on Xbox or PC immediately and start running. Sometimes it does happen on occasion that she will not follow you up there. I think it happens to me right now. I'm starting to wonder why she didn't fall down and she came running down the hill. If that happens, just immediately run past her. Do not try to engage. And we do have 7 healings, so you should be completely safe in this fight. And as I said, if you want to be extra careful, whenever you get up there, activate the umbrella and just soak up any bullets coming from her. And you should have no problems at all. If you're still struggling, we did pick up a gourd seed, so head back to Emma, because there is a sculptor's idol just before this fight. So just head back to Emma and make sure you can heal 8 times. But here we will do the final blow as soon as she goes down. And I made a mistake. Because I had the puppeteer ninjutsu equipped. Because I tried to do things in the wrong order, so I've done some fancy editing and moved things around. Tried to get a little bit ahead of myself when I was recording this. So I accidentally puppeteered Snake Eyes. So now you're gonna see me desperately trying to kill her. Because I didn't dare to go back up to the sculptor's idol until I was sure that she is dead. I don't know what happens if you have puppeteered her and you go, because I thought maybe the boss would reset. And it, even though that strategy is quite easy, it is really stressful because you saw the amount of damage she can do, and if you get unlucky, you might get clocked by 2 punches, and while you're trying to get away, she'll shoot you in the back. And then it's quite quickly game over. But we went back to the sculptor's idols, we got a refill of our healing gourds. Make sure to pop the gachin sugar before we go down again. And now we just follow the same path we took last time. And I think it's in between these 2 platforms that I once got clocked. And I'm not lying. Mid-air. Try going across without popping a gachin sugar and you will know exactly what I mean. American Navy SEALs or snipers or whatever ain't got nothing on these people. But now it's time to traverse the bridge. So we activate the umbrella once again because there are quite a few enemies over here. And they never like to sync up their shots. It would be great if they like all fired at once. By the way, that was a mistake. on my behalf. My plan was to jump across the hole in the bridge, which you can do. There is no big difference in between going down into the hole, but since I didn't plan it, it was one of those sphincter tightening moments when it happened, because I have never gone through that hole before. So I wasn't sure if there was a branch you could grapple onto, and now I'm having significant problems with the platforming. I think it is this soldier right here blocking you, or maybe because I have had some problems with that cliff from time to time. Can be a little bit finicky to get up on. But the good part, at least about these enemies, as you can see, they are really easy to kill. It's just the shotgunners that can be a pain to take down, because they are a lot better at blocking than the normal rifle enemies are. And right there you saw a little transition and also me healing. That was because I tried to jump out and grapple onto that little branch, and the indicator didn't activate. So I did sort of a suicide jump, but thankfully this game doesn't kill you it doesn't kill you automatically when you jump off edges. But up here, this is also very important. Take the same path I do going through this area, because this place is booby-trapped. There are mines under the snow, which I can't remember if it inflicts damage on you. But what I do know is that it alerts enemies that are nearby. It is like a big flashbang. So they will come running and try to find out what the hell is going on. And this little old lady we killed there, she is these warriors' version of the Gong Lady in Ashen Outskirts. So make sure to do a death blow on her so she doesn't alert all the other guys. Doesn't really matter, because I I fucked up completely there. But there you can see exactly what I mean with the shotgunners being a problem, especially in that room, since you're facing two of them at the same time. And if that happens and the sculptor's idol doesn't allow you to rest, do not run on for too far into this tunnel, because we are really close to our next mini-boss. But now I'm gonna go back and try to take out this big shotgunner so we can rest. And you can see they are quite a bit more resilient against my swings than the normal rifle enemies are. And if you want to, you can actually jump off the bridge down to the left. There is a little path there, which we are gonna travel, but from the other way, because that is the way back from picking up a prayer bead. Ooh, that was lucky. That was pure luck. If she had fired just a second earlier, I would have died. But the puppeteer ninjutsu, actually, the reason I'm talking about it now, also I'm gonna unlock a skill now. I'm gonna go for the mid-air prosthetic tool. I'm not super interested in it, but I wanted to unlock it so we can unlock more spirit emblems later on. But the puppeteer ninjutsu, I'm gonna use that on one of the shotgunners here. And I am not a big fan of this skill or combat art or whatever you want to call it, because it is so unreliable. Because my puppet starts following me because I headed in the other direction. And they will not aggro against enemies unless they take a hit, basically. Or they will aggro, but sometimes they can be really slow on the uptake. And something you really need to be aware of, even though that shotgunner is puppeteered and is under my power, she can still hurt you. If she shoots her buckshot and you get caught in between her and the intended target, or get caught by the spread, you will take damage. So that's why I never use Puppeteer unless if I really feel that it is helpful, or in the very few areas of this game you have to do it to unlock certain things. And as I said, the reason I had it equipped was because I tried to do things in the wrong order during the recording. So I went to a place, you will see it later on, but I have moved it. I had to move things around. But make sure here to rest. If you want to level up or something, go back, because we're gonna take down our next mini boss, which is the long arm centipede giraffe, which is exactly the same as the centipede we faced in Senpu Temple. Only difference is that this time we don't get a chance for a free death blow. But it doesn't really matter, because these guys, things, beings are super easy. Just tap the parry button whenever they start their big swing combo. When they do their perilous sweep, just jump over it and stomp on their head. And this fight will be over in no time. And if for some reason you're struggling with this boss, just the Sculptor's Idol is just a 10-second run back. And this is also the place where you need to use the Gunforge Shrine key. So I got over here before I realized I had it to head back. And there we picked up the large fan, which is another one of the prosthetic tools in this game. And before we head on, I went down into the floor. We're gonna go through this little tunnel here, and we're gonna make a left. And when you get out of this tunnel, head up to the right. And then go right again up to this little cliff. And in here there are some lizards, I think. So make sure to equip your shurikens. You can see them sitting on the walls. And as I said before, I'm quite sure I said it at least, they spit poison at you. And there is also one of those Voldo wannabe mini versions in here. But whenever you're facing off against lizards, try to keep your distance and, as I said, use the shuriken. Even the basic version, the spinning shuriken, will kill them in one hit. So you don't risk taking poison damage. But at this point you should have antidote powder, so if you get poison it's not a super big problem. And we picked up the prayer bead, so now we can head back up out of this place once again. And as I said earlier when I was fighting the shotgun warrior, if you want to go off the cliff or jump off the bridge, was what I meant. If she is giving you problems and you can't rest at the Sculptor's Idol, this is where you'll end up. You cannot reach the prayer bead from this way, because I think this is the jump you have. There is only one way. But now we are back up on the bridge. So if the shotgunner is chasing you, just run to the bridge, jump left, and you will most probably be safe. Hopefully create enough distance for her to lose track of you. And now we have 4 new prayer beads. So we do our 5th prayer necklace, which means we have 20 of them. I finally learned some mathematics. And since we remembered to pick up the Gunforge Shrine key this time, we can open this door and head on. And now we're gonna have another rendezvous with an old friend. The Great Serpent. Always fun to see him again. Even though I don't think he's a big fan of us. But in this little rendezvous, just follow the path I'm going. stick to the right side of this little river or lake or whatever it is, and whenever she launches past you, go on to the next part. But then we can just do one last dash across this pond, and we run into this cave, and we activate the sculptor's idol. And we have gotten through most part. In the next episode we are gonna take down Snake Eyes Shirahagi. So make sure to rest, and as always, I wanna thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.